Welcome to your next step up the self-publishing mountain.
I'm Matilda Swift, author of quintessentially British cozy mysteries.
And I'm Samantha Cummings, author of young adult books about magic, myths and monsters.
I've written the books,
Changed their covers,
tweaked their blurbs,
tried tools from a dozen ads courses.
and I'm still not seeing success.
Now, we're working together to plot and plan our way from barely making ends meet to pulling in a living wage.
Join us on our journey where we'll be mastering the pen to snag that paycheck. Hello and welcome to Pen to Paycheck Authors Podcast. I'm Matilda Swift, here with my co-host Samantha Cummings, and we're here to write our way to financial success. We're two indie authors with over a dozen books between us, and still a long way to go towards the quit the day job dream. If that sounds familiar, listen along for our Mastery Through Missteps journey. Each week we cover a topic to help along the way. This week we're looking ahead to next year and planning our Act 3s. But first, what are your wins and whinges of the week?
Glad you asked. I have no whinges, which is fun. I have only wins, but only because I've forgotten what happened in the week, so I'm assuming that nothing bad happened. But my wins of the week are that today I went out and had coffee with a local author friend, as we are planning on doing a local writing group next year and have decided to team up and put something together. So we had a lovely chat, which felt like a therapy session. Is it me? Is it?
No,
is it
because I
me?
also met up
Maybe.
with a local author to me this week and had a good old therapy session. That's what you need.
Yeah, like really talked about everything. Talked about our parents and like our horoscopes and all the good stuff. And yeah, it was really, really good. It's just so nice to meet up with local people and make plans. And I'm really looking forward to what comes from that. And I also received my 2026 planner from Plum Paper, which we both ordered recently, and it's just fun as from a geeky point of view to get some new a new stationary object, like a new diary, a new planner is always fun. So I've been looking at that all day, like flicking through the pages and trying to imagine next year, even though I don't want to. But how about you? What are your wins and whinges?
Yeah, well, one of my wins and whinges is my plan has been attempted to be delivered to me several times, but I have not been in, so it is now waiting for me. I retrieved it from being returned to America. It's waiting for me in a not super nearby shop, but one that I can access. So I have then got 5 days collected from there. I've just been so social. I've done all my socializing for the year this week. Just packed it all into 1 week, and it's all been fantastic. It's all been like author based, or I went to visit my aunt who lives not super far from me, but like far on public transport. So it's all been like very long days of travel, or long days of like being out of the house, which just felt exhausting. And all of it has been that like really meaningful, deep conversation, like our masterminds. But like, imagine 3 long days in a row of that. I'm tired.
Yeah.
And then we've got a mastermind tomorrow. So yes, a win and a whinge in the like, it has been so valuable, but also I'm not made for this. I'm not made for this level of conversation. But also in a win way, I have spent today recovering. Like I have today off with no commitments. I normally go to the gym on Saturday morning, and I just decided not to set my alarm and just to sleep in, and then have another author call in the middle of the day. So I did do that. But apart from that, all I've done is read, which is also my other win and whinge, which, as I mentioned last week, is a real rod I made to my own back, which is reading 25 books in 25 days. Which just feels, I was thinking about it today, like it feels like the books are all, for the most part, short. Like they are all probably on average 3.5 to 4 hours like worth of reading is what Amazon estimates, and then there's been a couple of long ones that are maybe 7.5 hours, and then balanced out by a couple of short ones. But obviously I'm fitting that in around other things, but I think what's feeling tired about it, I think I read today, is like I'm trying to read very attentively. I'm trying to read with analysis of like even the bad ones, and there have been some that are, I would say, objectively bad, are I'm trying to watch the parts where it is good, what's bad about what the bad parts, and like it's felt really tiring, and I hadn't factored that in. And I also hadn't gamed the system enough in terms of timing, so I had a couple of days for long ones back to back. And I have started slightly cheating by looking ahead just to make sure there's short ones coming on days when I need them, which like there's nothing I can do about it otherwise, but like I could plan and know that I'm going to need catch up time the next day and wriggle my life around a bit. So, but it's been really good. So useful and informative, and so useful to do right now when I'm sort of thinking about my own. I'm reading Christmas books for writing a Christmas series. I'm writing book one in January, and a lot of the things that I'm thinking about are sort of nothing to do with what I'm reading, but ideas are popping in just from sort of existing in a world of Christmas books and Christmas mysteries. So I've got loads and loads of notes, and there's still things I need to think about for my book, but like a lot of the kind of cozy incidental details are already written out in my Notion, which feels really good.
Yeah.
And I've continued making videos for that, and videos for my own advent calendar that I've for a serial book that I'm releasing on my website, which has got, I think now 3,000 hits in the past couple of weeks on my website, so really beneficial. I definitely think there's more I could have done on both those fronts to promote them more, but actually I really like having a bit of a dry run. There have been a couple of technical issues on my website that it was useful to be aware of and like look out for, and I just wanted to sort of see how it works and see what response I got to it before I next year will do a bigger thing for it for my Christmas series. So it felt like I've got everything I wanted out of it, which feels fantastic, though I'm halfway through the month and I'm actually very, very tired.
I know at the start when you said that you were going to read 25 books, like a book a day, it seemed insane even from the start. But then you started doing it and I thought, oh wow, like that's so impressive. But every time I see a new post from you about like the next book you're reading, I feel tired on your behalf. I'm like, oh, I love that you're doing it. I'm so tired.
Cozy mysteries are often quite light and fun, and also they are. Objectively, it's a short genre, so I thought it would be like, half my day I'll do that, and half the day I'll do something else. But I hadn't really factored in the kind of reading analytically time, and also sometimes you're reading a bad book, and it's like it's actually quite annoying to read a bad book, or sometimes you're reading a book that's like it's okay, and you're trying to think about why it's only okay, and sort of stop and think about that, and also just that like focused attention time. Even if Amazon said it's 3.5 hours read, you're gonna stop and do something else and like look at your phone, do a bit of cooking, go to the gym. It's like that's really your whole day is reading that one book.
Yeah, it is a lot, but you're doing so well, and you're gonna keep going.
I'm learning so much from it. I would still 100% recommend it to anyone who's wanting to write a book in a very specific niche. Is like just read all the books in it really close together. Take a month and just read all the books in that niche, because it has taught me more than I think kind of anything else I've done market research wise.
Yeah, yes, it's very admirable. Well done.
Thank you. I shall wear my crown.
Yes,
with relish.
So our topic of the week, we have decided. No, we've not. We've divided. Oh, my reading comprehension. We have divided our author journey into 5-act structure. Since you're not well today, let me recap what that means.
Thank you. That's so generous of you. That's
listeners, please note that Matilda writes the script. So, and I read ahead, which she was very upset
your intention.
About.
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew you would want to do this week.
Yes, yeah. So, yes, we've been doing we look at our podcast as a 5-act structure, and we are hitting the peak act next year, which is quite scary. So Act 3 is notoriously the scary act. It's the climax, the conflict, all the big challenges come out of the woodwork, and challenges that change lives for the better eventually. So
I would also say, I write in a 3-act structure, but I'm sort of extrapolating that to a 5-act structure. In the 5-act or in 3, does it also have things like you lose your team and the bad guy close in? Does that also belong in Act 3?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Act 3 is like pull the rug, then also release the trapdoor.
What if we stop doing the podcast? What if we break up?
It's never that bad. It's the
Well, I don't think you're writing murder mysteries.
I've been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen.
It's very left field. Go on, it's not what you say.
I watch it a lot, and from watching it, literally I watch an episode like every night, and it's so, you kind of watch it and you just take it for granted that it's this show where he goes into a restaurant and whips everyone into shape. But actually, the format of it is textbook intro, starting off like watching what people are doing, and then giving them the means to do better. And just like 10 minutes before the end, everything goes wrong. People slip back into old habits. The kitchen backs up. Every episode, like me and my boyfriend, forever like, oh, it's all going wrong. I hope they pull it back. I really hope, and they do, because it's like that is
what will happen next.
Yeah, like that, and it's funny every time, and I love it every single time. I'm like, oh, he's slipping back into bad habits. So it's not like things don't go horrendous that you like fall out of the book. Like your main character's not dying. We're not cancelling the podcast. We're still going to be here.
Right.
It's just going to be difficult.
From writing a murder mystery, the option Act 3 is always that someone could die. People often have like a second body drop in the middle of Act.
But not the main character.
Well, could be the main character's best friend. Depends which one is the main character.
Oh, I think we're both main characters.
That's how we'll find out which one of us survives this year.
Could you imagine the drama?
Oh my goodness! Imagine it's a true crime podcast. One of us gets killed, the other has to solve the murder. That would become the world's best podcast.
Yeah, and that's fine. If it happens to me, I will. Yeah, you survive, I'll die, but I'll also haunt you and try and lead you to like clues.
Yeah,
because that's really like, I think I do really well in life after death. Yeah. I think that's like probably where I'm supposed to be.
I think I do well at like talking to a ghost and pretending I didn't over and over and over again. Like,
ghost whisperer,
as in Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like, I think I'm good at it.
What TV shows are we watching?
I do think the more we talk, like, I've watched so much TV. How have I found in my life? What am I doing? I've also read a lot of books, so I guess I haven't socialised. That's probably why 3 days in a row of socialising has exhausted me.
Yeah, that's it. We're just consuming. So
imagine we both survived the year.
Yes, we're both surviving the year.
What else could Act 3 be about?
But so
we recapped Act 1 and 2 last week. But like, do you want to also recap Act 1 and 2? Were they?
Act 1 was us kind of showing how little we knew about the whole process. Like, we thought we knew a lot, but we were still like baby authors. And then Act 2, which has been this year, has been us finding our footing and thinking that we know what we're doing.
Yeah,
but
we've answered the call to adventure. We are.
Yes, we've like taken the challenge on, and it really does feel like this year has really felt like I have finally seen what the challenge is and risen to the occasion. Like, I feel like I've seen like the peak of the mountain and been like, do you know what? I can make it up that mountain.
I feel like it has been a year of fun and games. Like, we have tried all the things. My goodness,
I really feel like, like I really feel like I have put myself out there way more. I've done things that I never really even expected, and like I come to conclusions and decided to stop doing certain things. I just feel like I've really Act 2'd this year very well. But I think that next year for Act 3, I think that we are going to carry on with what we're doing right now, assuming that we'll only get better at it, and then find that actually we're flogging a dead horse in some respect for something. Like,
it could be a real win. It doesn't have to be a false peak. It could be a real peak.
Yeah, it could be a real peak, but I feel like, like as somebody who like does a lot of tarot, but also I like to watch tarot readings on YouTube, and sometimes I share one of my favourite ones in the Discord group.
I did not enjoy that at all. Had to listen to it on mute.
Because it's like an ASMR
whispery,
It's an ASMR.
It's like in my bones.
Oh, I love it so much. But her readings are so accurate and so good. And I watched one last night, and it was scary accurate. And I'm not somebody like, I sometimes know when I'm watching like a tarot reading or something where I think like, that's kind of generic. This wasn't generic. This was basically like her saying, Sam, you next year is going to be there's going to be
When
some
you leave your
difficult
house, turn
things.
left.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you have these kind of particular issues that you didn't know about till you watched this video. And I was like, I was watching this video, like having revelations about myself and like the way that I view life and stuff. And then the reading was all about how next year is going to be a big turning point, but
Oh.
but an unexpected turning point.
Okay.
And so
I've
feel
also listened to one of these. I haven't listened to it. I read the
yes,
captions.
yeah,
Because you shared one in our group, which like I obviously am dubious about, the
yes,
universe and its sentience. But I was like, I'll give this a go. I listened to it, and it was really good. I've got my own beef with tarot, so I don't
yes,
necessarily subscribe to it, but it felt very apt. And so I'm going to share the link in the show notes. But I am going to warn everyone: if you don't like ASMR, mute straight away. It doesn't get better.
So
It doesn't improve in any
good.
way. It
It's
feels like she
so
is
good.
like vomiting into your skull.
She's so relaxing, and the setting, and it's like dark, and there's candles, and she has such a soft tone,
No.
and I just love it so much.
I feel like she's doing it personally to annoy me.
I know it is. Yeah, if you don't like ASMR, she doesn't make mouth sounds. It's not that sort of ASMR. It's just like very calm.
It's very close to mouth sounds.
It's no way near mouth sounds.
It's so whispery that you think at any moment a mouth sound will come out.
And she has like quite a high. Like I feel like I kind of have a bit of vocal fry, but hers is like a very soft high voice. Which. Yeah, I love it, and everyone else will love it. It's just you who've got the problem.
This is just my ASMR warning. Should you happen to be a person who does not like ASMR, which is a legitimate, presumably, brain issue.
Nope, can't imagine. But
it's like linked to misophonia. Like I can't stand the sound of people eating. It's like a little noise like that. It really grates on me. So should you happen not to like it, read it. Read the tarot. It was very apt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also had quite a woo-woo in a good way week. I've been talking about Chinese zodiac horoscopes from this tarot. Yes, I love the end of the year for thinking about things like that. Just like, even if you just listen to it and think, that's not for me, that's nonsense, like that response tells you something.
Yes.
Yeah, and that one that we both read was all about like stepping into big things. And in fact, next year I think is the year of the horse, which is the same thing. It's all about like stepping into really big things. Yes. Just re-paraphrase the Chinese zodiac. Apologies to any experts out there. But yes, I think we'll talk a bit more about this later because we're going to talk about next week's episode, what I'm going to do for that. But the next week's episode of what I'm going to do then is something very big. And I feel like my act 3 is about, like we talked about this last week, they're like, I don't have a business plan still. Like I'm going to make a really specific business plan for my next series launch, right? Like I really struggle to think about like my whole business because I don't have enough numbers for it, but I can put together numbers for, if I release these books, I put this much into ads, I do it in this way, this is how much I think I'm going to make. And I'm going to put together that document and I'm going to share it with other authors who I know make good money and ask them to tell me, does this look reasonable? What should I change about it? And just like really confront all my fears and like put my like vulnerability out there and ask for help and show things that I don't know and maybe make mistakes and like do that and like make a big launch next year.
Yes.
And I'll be really disappointed if it's a false fiction I fall flat on my face. I'll be very about that.
I don't think that. I think things that only feel like you're falling flat on your face if you are expecting an outcome that you don't get. Like if you're expecting something specific and you don't get it, that
I do want that. I would like money. That's my outcome.
Yes,
I want.
well, yes, but there are other things to learn.
Yeah.
From big pushes, and also if you're putting together this business plan, because I'm really bad with like money and projecting money and calculations, but I know from personal experience that the more I do a specific calculation, the easier it feels to understand it in a wider sense. So this is like a random backstory, but I was in my old job the technical expert of pensions. You can believe it?
Okay.
I was the technical expert.
My eyebrows are raised very high.
I know, of pensions, and the girl who like is just terrible at all things maths, was the person who did specific calculations to work out manually people's tax-free cash amounts, and also like this is the really technical like words and stuff for pension stuff, but also people's lifetime allowance percentages, and I was the person that, and I did like pension sharing transfers where, and like divorce case stuff where it was somebody, a person had to manually calculate, and they let me do it. And the only reason I was trusted with that is because I did the calculations so much that it just became second nature. And when I first started doing it, I felt like I didn't understand anything. And then obviously this is just life. The more you do something, the easier it is. But
yeah,
I feel like that's what next year is going to be, is that right now we don't understand how those calculations are going to work. But hopefully by this time next year, we'll be like, those calculations
I think for me it feels really useful to think of it. Yeah, so think of it with like a very specific series that has a set sales period. I really like in the sort of like time limited nature of Christmas promotions. Someone has recommended another person who uses like time limited promotions to me to look into. It's like, that's super helpful. I'm going to look into them and also look for some more advice on that, because I really find it easier to promote like my Christmas advent calendar and my like be on social media talking about like Christmas, and it's got an end date and it's focused on something. And like with a launch, that's easy, right? Like you're working towards a launch, and then after that you're like, I've got some books, and like it feels very nice to have a specific thing. So with this new series, it's all going to be focused around a limited time of the year, like, and I can't affect that. I can't change that. I can only sell the books around Christmas. Obviously, there will be some people read Christmas books all year round, but like that is not going to be my business model. It will be to calculate like how many books can I sell in that short period of time, and how do I do it? So like, how much do I put into ads? When do I start? How do I ramp them up? Knowing that I've got these books of this length in this time period, and just putting the numbers together for that, and sending it to people who I know have had that practice of like calculating their numbers and say, do these numbers look reasonable to you? Then I can be like, oh, okay, now I can take this small thing and start to expand, rather than like a business model just seems enormous and amorphous, and I could do anything. I like the limitations of this. I'm loving limitation.
I think that is a very interesting point, is that it is a limited thing. So you do get to play in a smaller sandbox, but you have more control because you know that the rules are so specific.
And more known quantities.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think that's fun, and I really hope that there are no unexpected things that go wrong.
What could go wrong in Act 3? What could go wrong? It's only going to go successfully.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know how things could go wrong next year, because I just have, like, for my big goals, I just want to publish 2 books next year. That minimum, just 2 books. And then I've got some rebrand, relaunch stuff, but that is mostly just, I'm looking at that as fun rather than anything else. And I'll talk about, like, my challenge next week kind of ties in with all this stuff. I can't envision, that's the word, how I could learn something new next year. And that's such famous last words. It's such famous last words. Yeah. Like, well, I don't feel like I know everything. That's the thing. Like, I don't feel like I know everything, but I can't imagine what it is that I'm going to learn that I'm not thinking about. You know, like something that's going to come out of the blue, and I'm going to be like, oh, I didn't think that I needed to know that. Or I don't know.
So next year you've got this new series that you're going to kind of rebrand and bring under an umbrella, and you've also got, you have a second book, and both your books in the new series are quite long, and because they're long, like they get good page read payments, and they're expensive compared to my books, which are teeny tiny. Presumably you could make ads pay off on those. So are you going to learn something about ads?
Yes, hopefully.
It's not just like playing, which we've both done in the past, of like playing and experimenting. Like,
I have
literally to
played
make ads pay off.
Yes, I have played this year. I've played and I've turned ads on and off, and with like varying degrees of success. It's difficult to know what really works for me, because Facebook isn't a fun place for an YA author in the slightest. Like, it just doesn't pay off. Instagram is definitely better for me, but I do kind of want to lean into TikTok, and that is like next when I talk about our challenge week next week, it will all make sense. I don't really want to like start talking about it right now, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be doing next year that is just like the next step rather than anything that feels crazy big. Like I'm not taking a huge leap, I'm gathering myself to move forwards, just like the one next step on the board of life, on in this game of life. And I don't know how I'm going to misstep.
Yeah. I think that's interesting to think about, and that like you don't have yourself lined up at the moment to do that. Because I feel like I'm doing nothing conceptually next year that's different to what I'm doing this year, right? Like this year, I released a new series. I did some rapid release at the beginning of the year, and then I've added to it. So I'm going to have 6 books out in the series by the end of this year. And next year, I'm going to but release not because I necessarily think that's a super great system, but just because I need to get books out quickly in a time limited period. A new series. I'll have 4 books. I think I'm going to write these slightly longer so that the 4 books will pay off for ads by the end of the year. So like fundamentally the same thing, but I am trying to release those professionally, which like this year I think I was releasing them like side hustly in that I didn't have a plan for like when I'm going to put ads money behind it, how I'm going to put ads money behind it, how I expect it to pay off. You know, and we've talked about like hearing other people discuss their ads budgets, and like anytime someone mentioned like, oh, I'm spending like $50 a day or $100 a day, I'd be like, that felt enormous to us, especially when it's like a book on pre-order or a series that you didn't know the success of already. That felt just like unthinkable. And that's where I was when I released my current series, when I've been releasing all year. But like my next series, my Christmas series, I want to spend big money with the not necessarily knowing it's going to pay off, but like with the intention of earning that back from sales, which I think is very different to what I've done this year. So like, is there something to do with the way in which you're releasing things or promoting things? Like, could you say next year, and this is just an example, like maybe something to think about during challenge week, because what I think you're not doing that I think you could be doing is like putting yourself front and center, right? Which is what
100%.
And like if you're new TikTok, like modeling them on,
I have to put myself
TikToks.
Yeah, I have to put myself back in, and I have been mentally preparing myself for that because I used to do that a lot, and then I pulled back because I wanted to do like the visuals and the graphics, which I've done all year. All this year, I've just worked on creating graphics and creating these accounts that look like very vibey. You can go on my social media accounts and instantly I think you can tell the vibe and the genre of my books I've done, and I'm really proud of that, of how it all looks. But I took myself out of it. And mostly because like this year, and maybe it's just like turning 40 and stuff, like I look at my face on the camera and I just don't want to be on camera. I just don't want. I know, isn't it mental? Because I'm obviously this beautiful, beautiful woman. But when I
imagine yourself at 80 thinking like, oh, that fool.
It's not like it's not particularly like thinking that I look bad. It's just that I don't feel like
super cool. Like, do you think you need to feel?
No, it's really hard to describe other than my usual like mist over trees thing. I don't feel like I look how I feel at the moment.
Oh.
And yes, so that is.
Say a bit more.
I don't know. I think when I look in the mirror, and even when I look here on this camera and I'm talking, like this is fine. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, yeah, like great, brilliant. And then I go to film myself for Instagram or TikTok, and I'm like, it doesn't feel like I'm translating well on the screen. And I like delete the videos, or I just don't even press film because I look at it and I think that doesn't look like me.
I mean, that is interesting, in fact, looking at us both today. Like, I am, just for anyone not watching, wearing Santa Claus outfit. And I've got on, I'm wearing a Santa Claus top, which I discovered today, have a little button in where you can play Christmas music. And I've got like gold buttons, and it's a jumper, and it's got like a belt stitched into it. And I'm also separately wearing some Christmassy leggings. And I feel like I've had so many people talk to me about the videos I'm making at the moment, being like, you look very professional. You look very good, like competent and confident, which like I think my previous videos hadn't. And it's because I'm talking about something at which I feel a level of expertise, right? Like, because all I'm talking about is Christmas, which like I know Christmas.
Yeah.
I know the love of Christmas in my bones.
Yeah.
And that really has helped me feel like when people say like, "Oh, you're looking really good on camera," I was like, "Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Of course I am." I've bought myself loads of Christmas jumpers from like charity shops. Which is like big tip. If you ever look at more jumpers, get some Christmas jumpers at Christmas time. They're like £2 each, and they've never been worn because people wear them like once, and they look so stylish. Again, if you're not watching, just take my word for it. They look really cool. Yeah, and I feel like so myself, and almost like indulgently myself. Like I am unleashing myself because I think in my real life I accept that like a lot of people tolerate my Christmassiness and aren't necessarily enthusiastic about it. Whereas like when it's just me talking to a screen, I assume that people who are finding it are like equally excited about Christmas, or they can scroll away. Like it doesn't matter. So like all I'm trying to do is like bring Christmas joy, which you know, that's what I love to do. And so that has been really useful to see, and that really makes me think like, yeah, I will find it much easier to market a Christmas series than anything else because I relish being on screen talking about Christmas.
Yeah.
And maybe that is the thing to do next year, is think about like how can you make yourself externally like as big as you feel internally.
Yeah. It's probably like something that's been ongoing for like the last couple of years, is this feeling of, I think I've talked about this before as well, of not like just not feeling like a human being most of the time. And like I'm not mentally unwell, so don't worry about me. Like I'm not like dissociating or anything. I just sometimes forget like that I have to tailor myself for people. And in my day-to-day life, I'm like, I'm just me and I feel great and like I think I'm like the best person in the world. But when I put the camera on, I think, right, so what am I saying? And maybe that's it. Like maybe I haven't been thinking about what I'm trying to say. So I felt like I haven't been saying anything, and that's made me feel like I look weird. But again, when I talk next week about my challenge, I think that it's all going to come together.
I think this needs to part of it, yeah.
Next week, honestly, you guys.
Yeah.
Next week's the week.
Everything was fixed next week.
Yeah.
But I think that has been a big thing for me to sort of realise this December. And I would say actually, I think I often experience myself as not quite existing. As in like I think that comes from part of being like a fiction writer. Like you get so used to almost like watching a fictional world. Like when you're writing, the world exists incredibly really, but you are not a part of it, but you are in it, but not of it. And I often feel the same way in the real world. Like I'm just like a camera rolling around. I'm surprised when people interact with me as if I exist. Like, oh, yeah, okay,
you can see me. Right.
Yeah, so that does cause a little bit of trickiness when trying to sort of understand yourself and like express yourself. But I think I constantly find it surprising that like, you know, you look at Sasha Black's videos as Ruby Rowe, and I would expect you to make videos like that. And that's I'm not saying like go and do this. I'm saying that's how I perceive you. Is like like that. Is like that confident, that in your face about like something you love.
Yeah, because in real life that is what I'm like, and I'm like that on this podcast, and I'm like that when I talk to people face to face. I'm very like shove my likes and dislikes down people's throats, and often like will debate people about like films and books and TV shows and how my opinion on these things is always right. Even I don't really believe that. I just love to talk to people about this stuff. And yeah, as soon as I come to do it, like to talk to the internet about it, I just think like maybe it's all because I'm just tired. I just think I don't have
since I've
to
quit
do
my
that.
job, I find it 1000% easier to have like creative ideas like this advent calendar, like serializing my book. Like it is astounding how much of my creativity has been unleashed since quitting my job, which is like I was not a side effect I expected, because obviously I'm creative, I write books, but like I had to stick in like very narrow lanes. So I think I had that feeling of like I'm not a person, in that like you've used up yourself. And then you're like, I don't have anything to spare for like thinking of a funny video. How would I possibly do that?
Yeah.
Um, I was going to say one other thing that I find really interesting is like every week we usually record on Sundays. We're not this week for reasons, but we usually record on Sundays and we have like a really great chat. And then I go in and edit the podcast. And then on Mondays, I go in and I join a Clubhouse group for Cozy Authors, which many people might listen to this. And I always find it astounding. Like I'm quite often speaking in that group, but I am never as eloquent or interesting in that group as I am here. Like I'm never able to express myself in the same way. Like it's on it's like a video, like a phone call, like a conference call. So it's not one person talking to one other person. Anyone can jump in and say something. But like often when it's stuff that like a question you might ask me, when I answer, I just feel like I talk without the same ease. And that's fine, right? Like and Mondays is a different time for me. Like I've come out of doing something different than I do on a Sunday evening. So it's like some of it's situational, but often I just think this podcast is a time at which I've like lucked into being able to express myself really confidently and competently. And people always say to me that they thought we were friends for years before we did the podcast. And it's like, in my memory, we've never met before.
She wiped me from her memory. She was like, this girl, delete.
Yeah.
Backspace.
But it's not just you, it's everyone. I deleted everyone. I keep a lot of space from my like day-to-day thoughts. But like, we're able to talk as if we've like seen each other every day forever.
Yeah.
And that I think is something to observe and notice and then think if I were going to have to do something else where I was speaking in my life, say I was like invited to be at a conference, I would think just giving a talk would not be necessarily my forte. Like it's just speaking me out loud. It's fine, I've given talks to other things, but like it doesn't bring out my best warmth. I would want to do something like a panel or something where I'm just talking to you, where it's like I find the question and answer format directly between two people, I have learned from this brings out my best style. So like, is there anything where you can find a different format for your videos that is going to bring out the best?
Because I always see people saying you just film B-roll and then put things over it, and I hate filming B-roll because I don't live, and I know like this isn't really a problem, but to me it's a problem. Like my house is not aesthetically pleasing. There's no corner that is like the nice looking corner. I just have things everywhere. There's clothes everywhere. There's like dog stuff everywhere. I've got just like I'm a messy person, and
that is a problem for your genre. Like I would say for me, fine.
Like people want me to be living in like a cool place. I live in a really nice place, but there's just stuff. There's no. We're two grown adults with a life's worth of stuff living in a very small flat. So it's like it's a lot. So there's no like, and next year I hope to fix this because I just need to tidy, but there's no place where I feel like I could just film cool stuff because it's just not a thing right now. So I can't really do like cool B-roll footage. And yeah, like talking, it's weird because I do stories a lot. Like I love Instagram stories, and I will talk to the camera in that respect often because that's so throwaway. But it's just the performative part of doing stuff for like reels or quote unquote the grid that is mentally just I can't put myself into that mindset of looking like somebody who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I think that is definitely part of it. It's like that claiming authority in something that you don't feel like necessarily have authority in. Because that's why Christmas is very easy for me. Is like I authentically have a lot of Christmas cheer. Even when like talking about baking and things, I bake a lot, and I feel like I feel at ease with baking, and I never feel concerned about a recipe. I've never had a recipe fail, and I'll often just like look at a few recipes and kind of cobble something together from those, which I think of as like not a huge skill, but I think a lot of people would think it's a skill. But I wouldn't feel confident. I've thought about this before. Like, I wouldn't feel confident having like a baking series that wasn't very clearly positioned as like amateur, as in a baking series of like videos. So I wouldn't feel confident making content around baking that wasn't pitched as being incredibly amateur. Whereas Christmas stuff, I could spend my life making Christmas content and never run out of things I wanted to talk about and like feel confident talking about. but it's tricky to kind of tie that into your writing unless you're going to write a Christmas Cozy Mystery series, right? That's like, that just has come together as like me really leaning into the things I find buttery and admitting to myself that like I can, yeah, fully lean into that.
Yeah.
And there's stuff that you could talk confidently about, right? Like tarot and crystals and stuff. And it's like, but is that enough? And does it tie into your books enough? Like,
yeah, I don't think it ties
really.
it enough. No, I don't think it ties it enough. Like, that's the thing. I think in order to tie in more to my books, I would have to be putting myself in a position of authority for like making book recommendations that are like my books. And I know what books are like my books, but I haven't read many of them because I'm so behind on my reading. Maybe it's just next year I do more like what I'm reading posts and try going down that avenue of like if you like the books that I'm reading, you'll also like the books that I'm writing, and maybe that's the avenue that I go down. Next week when I talk about my challenge week, this will probably tie in.
Yeah.
So like this is so exciting that you're desperate to know what I'm going to talk about next week.
But I think that is the interesting thing about Act 3 is like just making sure that you are looking at the dangers, right? And the danger is that you just do the same as this year, or you set yourself up to the same as this year, and that you're not doing anything different with it, which like we could both do things that look the same or very similar externally, but we're approaching it in a different way. Like rather than it being a hobby or side hustle, we're approaching it as a business. That is very different.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the next year I won't be doing the same that I've done this year. This year felt like testing, and next year I'm definitely moving away from testing and going into targeted stuff, like targeted behavior, and yeah, like being a lot more specific with what I'm doing and professionalizing a lot of stuff. So I know that I am going to be making changes next year, and like by the end of next year I'll have 2 complete series under my current pen name because I'll be bringing other stuff. So that in itself is like a big professional change for me, is really building up this brand that I'm creating. And that all feels like I'm really excited about that. So I feel like I'm okay with Act 3, and I don't actually feel like, as much as I talk about it, like everything going wrong, I don't think everything will go wrong. I do just think it'll be like I've underestimated stuff, and I'll have to rise to the occasion. But I know wholeheartedly that whatever happens, I will, because I love it so much. I was talking about this when I was having coffee with my friend today. I love it so much that there's just nothing in me that tells me that I'm not going to succeed. Even if it gets really hard, I'm going to win because I refuse to quit. So whatever happens next year, I will be fantastic. Even if I die, I'll be fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, you'll be really good at it.
Because I'll be the most, I'll be famous about is like, in the dead world.
Yeah. But there is something to think about is like, what are your bad guys closing and your like losing the team things kind of potentially going to be? Because I think my bad guys and the losing the team kind of aspects, they're sort of the same thing. They're like, I have gained so much from connecting to other authors, even beyond you, right? Like I have had
more friends.
I know. Yeah, but I've like just this week alone has been almost like the crystallizing of meeting amazing authors and having such useful conversations, and people who are like peers, but peers that are at all different levels and that want to have conversations that are helpful and seek help from you. And for me, I think the big thing that would be a challenge is if I somehow lose that, if I didn't have the people. And I can see potential upsets like on the horizon. You know, like lots of people have got strong opinions about AI one way or the other. I think that can cause schisms. I'm not saying people are going to fall out directly with me from that, but like there are communities that I'm in where there could be fallout from like people going one way or the other. And I could just be less social next year. I'd just be so busy that I don't keep up my regular, like some people I've got like regular calls with, and some people I'm just trying to have occasional meetings with or communications with, that could be a big issue if I don't manage to keep up with that. And this podcast, like if I didn't manage to keep up with this, I don't know why I wouldn't, but like say the internet stops existing.
Yeah. Well,
that would change everything.
Yeah, so we mentioned this maybe on the podcast, but definitely face to face on our last mastermind, how we've never missed an episode.
Yeah.
And we don't have any banked episodes for emergencies because we've just not had
we had
time.
One and we just kept it for ages and ages
I
and
know.
not done anything with it.
Yeah, like we just don't have time when it just doesn't feel like it's just not fun to think about that. But maybe next year we won't be able to release an episode, or I think for me, my potential enemies on the horizon is the fact that I still am at this point in my life where I don't feel like I maintain very good friendships in my personal life. Like this is my main friendship. Like talking to you every week is like is basically fulfilling 90% of my social stuff. And then obviously like living with Brian.
I'm that good.
Yeah, like you're that good. You're just like the only friend I need. But and I get a lot.
I would like all my friends to feel that way. Can I say I have like a real this person issue I have is like I don't like my friends have other friends.
Yeah, like you're my only friend. No, and then living with Brian is enough. Like because Brian is also like my best friend. I'm sorry to say that sounds so like sad, but also romantic. Yeah. He really is my best friend. Like as I'm my own best friend, and then he's like my second best friend. I get a lot of...
You're his best friend, but he's not your best friend.
Yeah. We're acquaintances. I'm kind of... Because I'm so happy being an introvert, and maybe this is like to be woo-woo, like this is my Gemini personality kind of kicking in, is I'm very fulfilled being my own friend. But I also am very aware that that's not healthy. And I love talking to people and spending time with other people. And this year I really wanted to do more of that. And I thought I would. And yet I haven't seen my actual like friendship group, my best friends group. I've seen them maybe twice this year, and we're not even managing to get together before Christmas. I think we're having to wait till like January. And that feels bad because two of them live 20 minutes away. And I could drive...
One of them live over the road.
One of my friends literally lives over the road and we never see each other. But she is also like, we're the same person. So it's like, we're both okay. we just like message on Instagram. But yeah, like I have a lot of friends who live locally, and yet I still don't do well with that whole balancing act of like having like writing and having a job, and then also trying to be a real person outside, which I really want to. And I don't want next year to be another year where that happens.
Like that's been my job this week, is like being a person outside and like
and
working with my network.
I want to get so much better at that, and I'm scared that next year I will let like the excitement of writing, because it's the excitement for writing and like how much I love it that keeps me distracted from being social. It's a great distraction. I love it, but it's also like really pulling me away from real life sometimes. And it's negative, and it's not negative. It's not like I'm a drug addict who can't leave the house. It's like the drug is great. The drug is literature, and like that's fine.
But I would say that's what I'm like with like productivity, when it's like never stop, keep going until you collapse, and like that's useful but not good.
Yes, yeah. I am my own worst enemy, so I really don't want next year to be the same as this year, where I feel like I've done better, but I've also not done better at the same time. I haven't seen a lot of people for the whole year. Like there are friends I haven't seen all year that I can't, and I mean like friends who I used to see every week and used to message, and then I recently like had one of those I haven't spoken to this friend all year. Like, and this is an ADHD thing where it's this object permanence thing that people have, where if you don't see something, you forget it exists. And I do have that with people, and I really don't want anybody to take it personally. My brain is just literally like, ooh, shiny things that I can see. This is all I can think about. And anything...
I assume everyone is paused when I'm not around, because I am the centre of the universe.
If I just don't see somebody or something... I legitimately forget it exists, and it's not because I don't care. It's just because my brain is hyper focusing on other stuff, and I can't that's a big fear next year, is that that's going to happen again, and I can't have that happen again. So that might be my downfall, and that's what I'm going to be tackling, I think. Hopefully that's the only thing I'll be tackling. That I'm probably like having a mental breakdown, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If I end up in a padded room, just know that that's actually where I wanted to be.
Yeah, it gives you some peace and quiet to write some books.
Yeah, just think. Just have time to think. I'd love it.
Yeah. Do we have anything else on Act 3? I mean, it's sort of interesting. I don't have anything else on Act 3, but I'll answer my own question, sorry. But I was thinking, I can't even conceive of Act 4 or 5.
No,
Like, where are we bringing the story home?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, because, again, this is one of those, you can't imagine what the end of next year is going to be like. So I can't imagine 2027, 2028. It could be that when we get to the end of Act 5, maybe we do decide that the podcast is over, or maybe the podcast changes format completely, and like who knows? I don't even know who I'm going to be next year, let alone 2 years time. Who knows? I could actually really turn into mist over trees.
Yeah.
It's very David Lynch of me.
Yeah. But it's interesting that like it does feel like we're characters in the story rather than the writer of the story, and that like because obviously I write murder mysteries, so when I'm writing stories, the end goal is like solve the mystery. But there's nothing to solve here. My end goal is to become like a full-time author who supports himself in their writing. And in one way, that seems like that's the end of the story. That's the end of Act 5. But it's like, actually, what does that look like? Like, is that from books? Is that from what series? From Cozy Mysteries, from other things? Is it from other side hustles? It could be loads of things. I think it's interesting that I don't feel like I'm heading straight towards something.
No.
It still feels like the story could go anywhere.
Yes, like I know the outcome that I
reading.
want. The outcome that I want is, like you say, financial security, to be making enough money to not worry about money so much, and to effectively be living your best life. But I don't know how that happens. I just know that that's the dream, is making enough money to be like, oh, isn't my life great? Like, haven't I got everything I want? And but I don't know what brings that money in. Obviously, at this point, you think it's going to be just the books, but I don't know.
Who knows what happens in Act 3? It could be anything by then.
Yeah.
There.
Who knows? I mean, I could become an actor and move to Hollywood.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And anything can happen.
Literally anything.
You could have a series take off and just like everything else you planned falls aside because that series is so popular that you have to just really write that and focus on that. Or, you know, and also like you don't know what's going to happen in the world. So like when Kindle Vella came out, I didn't even consider it. Obviously it wasn't in the UK, but like I wouldn't even considered it. Whereas like now if Kindle Vella came out, I might be like, oh, you know what? I have enjoyed serializing my book. I will try and do that. And it could have been that became really popular. Like, I don't know. You don't know what's going to happen around you. And I think that feels really interesting. But it also feels interesting to be considering our lives in 5 acts in sort of like what we are attuned to. Because I definitely feel very different to how we felt in Act 1, where we're like, I sort of feel like I know where I'm going, but like this can't be knowing, because this knowing feels like nothing. And that was like our regular lives. And then we had the call to friendship, like I want to become full-time and like really work towards that. And last year has just been the fun and games, like trying those things towards that. And now it's going to be really making a big pitch for it. And either we succeed or fail. And like the success or the failure is not the end of the story. I think that's what's useful about thinking about the 5 acts. Like that is just the middle of the story. You got a whole second half to go.
That's the part that tells you like what your actual path is. Like, oh, you thought you were going left, no, turn right.
It makes it seem more exciting as well.
Yes,
like,
I do feel like I feel like we really gamify our lives, and it makes it exciting. I do feel like it's just it takes a lot of the stress away, because I feel like I am in control in some way, even if it's not like fully in control. The idea of control is exciting enough. Like it's fun enough where I think like, oh, what if I press this button and then see what happens? I like that. And it's not going to implode anything. Like I don't have because I've got my day job. I'm financially secure enough to not to know that I'm not like going to be on the street if I press the wrong button. then it's like as much as it's frustrating to still have a day job, I can't take it for granted because it's
Yeah.
it's a luxury.
Yeah. As Paycheck is just
Yeah.
like a delight.
Yeah.
Like free money just dropping in your account. Like, great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask the question actually asking you, not gonna answer myself. Do you have anything else to add on this topic?
I do not know. No, I think I've spoken a lot of nonsense, and I'm done.
Yeah. I think we've pondered enough. Okay, so next week it's our challenge week.
Woohoo!
We do this every quarter, and we pick something off our to-do lists. I don't know if you just heard that massive crash in my house. Something just fell down. Apologies. It's our challenge week.
Yes.
The house is celebrated by dropping something heavy. We do this once a quarter. We pick something off our to-do list that we don't want to do, but we have to do, and it is a very good way of getting things done that need to be done and will benefit your business, but would not normally make it into the list. So, what are you challenging yourself to do?
I am pre-making / preparing all of my ads and social media posts templates for the year. Based off
That's very exciting.
Based off the report that I got from novel publication.
Publicity.
Publicity,
Yeah,
thank you.
publicity.
Yes.
I'll put a link in the show notes there. So we both did the, I also can remember this name, manuscript and marketing report, which I had thought would just be like, oh, some fluff about my book. Or not necessarily thought that, but like I was like, I can't see what it could be that would be super useful because everyone was raving about it.
Yes.
They have this report they create. You give them the manuscript and it creates a report for you for marketing. And I was like, what could it be that's going to be so good? And then I did it. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Legitimately the best
I now know how to market my book.
Yes.
And like, I was like, my book is the best thing. Reading this marketing report, I was like, I want to read this book. It sounds so good.
I was like,
I wrote it, I can't read it.
So I did it. I did the thing. It was, the report is so good. And they actually sent me two because the first one, they apparently missed off some stuff. So they redid it for me. So it's like a great, not just an automated thing, but there are people there checking the reports and making sure that you're getting what you're supposed to get. And so I got my second report and I just downloaded it this morning and have read through it. And it is the best thing ever.
Yeah. I think so too.
Apparently the book I wrote is the actual best book that exists. And the comps are so good that it comes up with, and the marketing, it picks the best excerpts to use for marketing.
Yeah, the video scripts. And I was like, oh my God, did I write this?
Yeah.
This book is so good.
So I want to take all of that and I want to start picking things out for ad copy, ideas for social posts, and make myself an actual plan using this information. That's my challenge.
Yeah. And can I just say, neither of us are being sponsored
no.
recommend this. We in fact paid our own cash money to get these reports done, and we were both fairly dubious, and then we got these reports and we're like, oh my God, the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
The reports are phenomenal. We did though get it on discount, so we got a discount that made it feel a bit easier to commit the money to. But I think I would have paid the full price for it.
Yeah, same. I'm considering doing it for another book. Yeah.
You can use the discount twice. You can use it many times you want. You've got to use it by end of day tomorrow, so do it now.
Okay.
Discount code we did, but I'm sure they will have other discount codes. So novel publicity. It's by Melissa Storm, who is a cozy. Am I saying Melissa Storm, who is a cozy author. So that's why I felt like a lot of cozy authors doing it. And I felt really confident at least trying it. And I have done 2 books with them. And what's interesting is, in fact, that makes me feel like it definitely is a good report, is that I used it for my first series, which I was like, it's okay, and it's tough to market. It's too tough to advertise. It's not 100% to market enough. And the report that came back with was like, yeah, read this book. It was interesting, but that was after I'd got the one for my most recent series, which I wrote really to market. And I was salivating over the report. I was like, oh my goodness, this book, I want to read it.
Yes.
And it makes me feel like, yes, it definitely is personalized to the book. Do you mean it is actually, it's like a human's written a marketing report, like a human is good at marketing. And all the ad copy and all the social media posts and
the customer profiles
video
as well.
scripts. Oh, Those customer
Yes.
Okay, so what's so good with customer avatars? So I know we're going to go over time.
Yeah.
It gives you 5 customer avatars. It has revolutionized the way I thought about advertising because in my head I was trying to give this like really general concept of who my audience was, and I was trying to advertise to all of them at once. And it splits your audience into 5 avatars, and it tells you different ways to advertise each. And I was like, oh, absolute epiphany. I was like, I have been the world's biggest fool. Why did I not split them into different people and be like, oh, these people like the logic puzzles, these people like the like cute English setting, the Anglophiles. In my head I was trying to squash those together, and there's like 5 of them here, and it tells you how to advertise to them, it tells you what they like, and then it gives you like a hook copy that you can use as a blurb or in ads.
Yeah.
It's got everything you could need.
Yeah.
Love it. Yes, I will link in the show notes.
It's so good. Yeah.
So challenge week next week, I am going to lay out my year. So I have got sketched out plans. I want to write 8/9 books next year, and I've got plans for when I'm going to write 6 of them, and I have not got plans for the other 2, but I kind of know I put them in month-wise, but it's easy enough to find dates for that. But I haven't really planned around that, and last year I did a really good job of like setting out my writing weeks, my editing weeks, my like marketing weeks, and that really, really helped. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to write that plan for how to launch a series, and like I want to put in things like dates, budgets, like literal plans of the different types of marketing I'm going to do. And obviously it's a Christmas series, it's not going to come out until next September 2026. So it's not, it can change between now and then. Like say Facebook goes for another change and it becomes useless completely, I will amend it to do something else. But I want to have a plan in for where I'm at now and what I know, and kind of get some sense checks on it from people so that I can learn from that. I think I know enough to put together a hypothetical plan and then have that amended for me and understand the amendments rather than like shrug, this feels like guesswork. I think with this like time limited specific series, I think I can write a plan for it, so that feels so positive. And also I don't want to do it because it also feels difficult, so it's a perfect challenge week.
Yeah, I think we've both picked very big things that if we don't do them now, it will feel like it's too late.
Yeah,
because time will run out. Like if we don't do it now, the year's gone. So
yeah, if it gets into January before I've done it, I'm like, well, maybe next year.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, but we will do it, and we will talk about it challenge week. So we will put in our Discord, which the link is in the show notes, we put in our Discord a question of the week about what you're doing for challenge week. Please feel free to pick your own challenge, tell us how it goes. Pick something from your to-do list that is important to do but that you're never otherwise going to do because it feels scary or big or unpleasant. And join us in the fun that is challenge week. We have always succeeded at challenge week, and it has always been incredibly beneficial, so it is a good thing to do along with some other people and get some company in doing these unpleasant things you don't want to do but you should do. So link in the show notes for that. Link in the show notes also for our coffee. We are now over 100 episodes old. We are wise sages. Our words are worth money. Please put some money in the coffee pot and buy us coffee and cake. Support things like the editing and the hosting for the podcast, which cost us money from our own teeny tiny pockets. And we would rather it came from a range of pockets, including yours. So link in the show notes for that and everything we've talked about today. And we will look forward to seeing you next week when we have achieved our challenges. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to Pen to Paycheck Authors.
Stay tuned for our next episode, and don't forget to subscribe to learn how to write your way to financial success.